Hey, welcome back to the Arc Paragon series. I am your host, Muggsey. No, I'm just playing, guys. It's Muggsey. How you doing? Well, we're picking up right where we left off. Still night. Got meat cooking on the fire, and the rain has me thinking that we are in the market for a box to call home. Yes, think we're going to probably get a few thatch foundations set down. So right now I'm just kind of clearing out the ground cover in the little area where I think I'm gonna get it done. So let's open up our inventory real quick. And remember, I made these while I was sitting around and waiting for the Dillo to tame. We're going to use our hot bar, open or get our torch out so we can see what we're doing in the dark, and press the corresponding number, and the foundation will come up in green mode. This will allow you to place it. Now, I am lining this up with this cliff face, and then I'm going to get into K mode. That you press K to get this is what's called free cam mode, and gives you a much wider view. So I'm going to line it to the tree, so because I know I'm going to bring a deck over by the tree sooner or later. I'm going to pull it back. I want it about 2 foundations away from the cliff. Ultimately, this whole area is going to be blanketed. It's going to be about a mid-sized base, and they're here. Okay, guys, the AI is, whenever you start doing anything, it doesn't matter if you're taming anything, if you're building anything, the AI, I swear, is coded to be like, oh, what is he doing? And everything in the area wants to come and just walk all over you, you know? And the worst, if you remember when we first started, I was like, oh, I don't like Brontos being in the area. The worst are Brontos. They literally come, they knock all your trees down, and they just turn circles over you while the ground's shaking like an earthquake. Um, anyway, back to the business at hand. You might have seen me just now. I was holding the torch out, and I threw it on the ground. While you're holding the torch out, if you right click, it will throw the torch on the ground and illuminate the area while freeing up your hands to use your tools. Very useful in the dark. So we're just going to keep gathering a few more materials. There's that Packy. I'm so interested in her. Um, but I'm not going to do it unless there's a male. So we now finally have meat. We can get rid of the berries. We won't have need of them being on the bar for any time soon. And yeah, take a look at this. Okay, you see this? That's charcoal. That is created any time that you burn wood in anything, be it campfire, torches, forge. No apparent use for it right this moment, but trust me, don't throw that away. Keep every bit of that charcoal you can get, because later we pair that with spark powder and we make gunpowder. Boom. That's great stuff. So store all of that. But anyway, I've got to gather up a few more things, I think, to be able to make my door, walls, and ceiling. So what I'm going to do is bring you back. Guys, I don't know how much of the actual grind to keep in. You know, at first I wanted to look at that. Like I said, everything wants to come and see what you're doing. Like, hey, he's working. I will go get his way. But yeah, I mean, this, I said it maybe like 85 times in the first episode. We're playing on one by, and the grind is real. The grind is not unapproachable, but it's real. So honestly, I'm about to probably make about an hour-long episode using about 6 hours of content, and I just don't know how much of this raw grinding of I've got, you know, probably 2 full hours of doing nothing but chopping broccoli like this, man. I mean, do you guys really want to see me do that? Hey, let me know. I can give you a 4 hour long episode of me just doing it start to finish. That's fine. A content creator that comes to mind that I actually started watching when I was getting into Ark was Nooblets, and Nublitz would do that with his series. He would basically do a from start to forge, episode that usually lasted about 4, 5 hours of just everything that happened uncut. And I always thought that was great, but I think it's a specific type of viewer that actually enjoys seeing that. I can already tell I'm going to be a little shy, so I'm still got some more to grind up here for the ceilings, especially. Yeah, I'm a little short. I'm going to bring you back, guys, once we are putting everything in its final place, and then we'll get to talking about what we're going to do for the rest of the episode. We'll see you in a second, guys. All right, we're back, and it's morning time. As you can see, we did finish up the little rudimentary shack. I'm going to get the door closed. I'm thinking about taking subject one out for a bit of hunt. We want to get some more meat, cook some up, and also have some raw on her just to keep her well fed. Whistling her, if you press T while targeting, if you crosshair over, it will whistle that specific dino to follow you. So we're going to come on out here. Man, look at that sunrise. Beautiful, isn't it? But yeah, the night went off without the hitch. Now, obviously, I cut the rest of the building phase out there. I mean, it's a 2x3, thatch hut. But if you are new and want to see the full process on how to do that, I'm going to link to the full beginner's guide video, and that will go over all of the initial beginner's mechanics. Now, just remember about this white beacon drop, and it is time to start doing some beacon drop looting here. So we're going to run on over here and get that. But yeah, check out that beginner's guide. So anyway, let's go see what we've got here. And if you don't know about beacons, beacons have a level requirement, I think, on the island to open white beacons are level 3. We're definitely past that. In fact, we're almost close to being able to open green beacons, which are level 15. And, oh, jackpot. So, if you saw that, a lot of people sleep on white beacons, but there's a reason. If you've noticed and been wondering, why isn't this guy learning sleeping bag in bed? You don't need to. If you loot white beacons enough, you're going to get tons of beds. Now, I do ultimately learn standing torch, but you'll also get tons of standing torches. Now, here we're walking up to one of the Explorer Note locations. We're not getting that yet. We're going to be saving that for there's one of those loud Oviraptors I was talking about. You guys see that? And they make a bunch of noise, but she's just running her way. We'll get one of those later on, a lower level, but their specific purpose is to increase the egg-laying efficiency of your mating dinos, or of your egg layers in your kibble farm. But, heck, what was I talking about? I don't know. We're hunting. Loot drops are great. In time, you learn what engrams you actually need to learn. It's also why I haven't learned cloth armor. I'll learn it by default later when we actually have to learn, fur or ghillie. Anyway, but the white drops are going to give me cloth armor. I don't need to waste the points right now, where engram points are kind of rare early in the game. So here I'm in this little area. You just saw me running all through that water, and I'm just kind of showing off. This is another great little base building spot. Less desirable than up on the ridge, just because you are near Spino and Baryonyx spots, spawn points, and they can kind of work their way over there, so you do need to set up a perimeter pretty quick if you get there. But that whole open area is just kind of knee deep in the water. Here's a full 4-pack and of compies. And there you can see Subject 1 going to town on them. This is a pretty messy one. They're they're getting some bites off on me. Quick, get them, get them. We'll be all right. Yeah, see, just do the backstep stab and let your Dillo do her work. That's what we call her, the guard dog, right? Now, for some reason, she's not corpse collecting for me. I might have to adjust that later. Sometimes the game, you have to change their aggression a couple times. I'm going to try and do it here. Uh, just to get her to back off of me a little. I've got her on lowest. I just put her on low so that we can maybe get her back because I keep hitting her. And since we do have friendly fire on, I don't want to accidentally like chop my Dillo to death. It can happen. It has happened. But anyway, we're going around this bend. We're just doing a regular hunt. We're also keeping our eyes peeled for any kind of prospective tames that we're going to be wanting. Because what I think we're going to do for the rest of the episode is a taming run. We're going to probably spend the next few hours getting some tames. And I want to maybe start with a dodo or two. At least get one in there, and probably the male, a low level. Um, and just start getting some eggs. You need a mate pair for dodos. Dodos, unlike any other dino, they don't have really. It's basically every time they poop, they have a chance to lay eggs. So that's probably what we're gonna get to is get the dodos going. So we've got some tier 1 eggs coming. That's what we'll. Hey, I'll probably use a stack of 200 dodo eggs to tame our oviraptor later in the series. So for now, though, all these bunny dodos and the dodo are going to be a lot of meat and hide for us. I want stacks and stacks of hide because we're going to need saddles in the near future, and saddles take a lot of hide. Um, a good start for your first couple saddles, just have about 400 hide on hand, but saddles start to require a lot of hide. So I think like when we're 38 and we want to make the pterodon saddle, it's going to be like 240 hide plus some chitin, which I think if as we're going along we're going to be looking for some horseshoe crabs to kill their excellent source of early game chitin. Here's one. Let's see here. All right, these guys are an interesting thing. They'll always try to run away from you. The spear is your best bet because of its knockback, but they'll always try to turn towards the water, or they'll go into the terrain, and sometimes they can clip through the terrain, and they'll be out of your reach. But as you can see, you see all that chitin that we got from that. They also drop raw meat, oil, silica pearls, and black pearls. These guys are awesome, and it's a reason why I don't like to build near the beaches because it cuts off their spawn points, and they're such a great early game resource. Be careful just running and jumping in the water like you just saw me do. I'm kind of displaying some bad habits there. Every time you do that, you risk jumping right on top of a manta or, you know, any number of the aggressive water creatures. Mantas in this area obviously are about the only real threat, except the piranhas in the lagoon down there. But they have about a medium aggro range, and their bite, like most water creatures, is pretty mean. So yeah, I'm being bad by just running and wahoo. You know? Don't be me. Don't do that. So another trilobite, as you can see, look, silica pearls, oil. These guys are great, man. But okay, tools. You probably see me do this, and I haven't actually talked about it. You can repair stone tools when they break if you've got the materials just by clicking the hotkey. It'll instantly repair it. Or as I just did, you can manually, right click and repair from the inventory. Anyway, we're gonna make our way over to the starter Bronto and take a look at that beacon. That is the dolphin. Not again. they take forever to tame with just raw fish. We're gonna wait till we get some kibble to actually tame a dolphin, but they're a great little travel mount in the water. But what do we got here? And there it is. That's exactly what we were just talking about. That is why I didn't learn cloth armor yet, because White Beacon, you're gonna get a cloth armor set, and now we're sexy. How you like me now? Um, anyway, we're gonna wrap up this hunt soon, but and as always, we are really just surveying around, looking for prospective tames. And really cool looking pterodon. Why are they always low level? The five, like level 5, but it looks awesome. Another Moshops. These guys are all over. It's too bad they're gonna be. Oh, okay, we. This is the Devil Soar. I'm just kidding. They're called Pegamastrix. As you saw, what they do is they run at you, they jump, and they steal something from you, and then they run away. Um, we're actually going to tame them. They're a very easy tame for your tier 2 kibble. They take up almost no space. But so you can see access inventory. Whatever he stole from you, you can just open his inventory. He took my standing torches. Open the inventory, get it back after you kill them. But they're actually a passive tame. Later, once we get the pterodon and we can pick them up, we will make ourselves a little thatch box, and we'll go pick up low-level ones, and we'll drop in the box. And then we'll go get 20 full stacks of midge berries and put them in our inventory and go hop in the box with that thing. And what it will do to tame is it'll come and steal a stack of our midge berries, and that'll begin its taming process. That's right, to tame Pegamastrix, the Devil Soar, you basically have to just sit there and let them steal stuff from you. And once they've stolen enough stuff out of your inventory, they'll be tamed and they're yours. But yeah, they're a small, compact tier 2 kibble, egg producer. That was a Hesperornis back there. We'll tame one, but not for the kibble. They are the tier 6 producer. They make golden eggs, but we're going to do a UD farm for our tier 6 special kibble. I'm going to keep going around this way, guys. We'll bring you back for the next interesting thing that happens. Here we go. As promised, I'm going to call 4 shots. 2, 3, 4. Level 10 dodo taming. Riveting, I know, right? You had to be actually kind of quick here. They have very low torpor, so you'll see. I'm going to pick a couple bushes. We're going to go. Oh, man. It's getting close. You'll see. Yeah, see that torpor is already about 25% down, so you got to be pretty quick with them. They don't have a lot, but it also doesn't take a lot to fill it back up. Now that I've pumped some berries in her, or him, got a little time. I'm gonna gather a few more, and then I think I'm gonna probably go over and I think I've got some narco berries on subject 1, who I have parked over here. I didn't want her near me while I was trying to, she 2-shot that dodo and would probably have aggroed if she were in range. So yeah, I've got midges and narco berries on subject 1. So we're now going to go back there, and I think she'll or he, I keep saying she, the dodo at this point, level 10, will probably have already starved out enough to almost instantly tame. We're gonna first pop some narcos, get the torpor back up, and then we'll put medjos on it. And you'll see this is what's called starve taming in a very micro scale. Narcos, bring it back up, and do a few more just to make sure. I'm gonna get that where it's constantly going up. Now put the medjos on and watch this. It's just gonna watch that tame bar, the yellow in the bottom. It's gonna go up. This is a method called starve taming on the micro scale. On the macro scale, when you're doing larger creatures, is actually a very useful method to ensure that you don't waste taming resources. You let them starve out for 2, 3, 4 hours, and then put the taming food on so that they tame all up real quick. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. Boom. Uh, Dodos eat on an interval about 5 to 10 seconds. They're just very quick tames. But so, dude, the dodo, and he now becomes a berry refrigerator for us. And so this is how you carry them. It would be perfect if they also shot lasers out of their eyes while you're carrying them like this. But alas, all they actually do is become a giant target in neon pink, blinking to every aggressive creature in the area. Eat me! And for that reason, I'm going to have to actually get him back to the base and inside of the hut so that nothing can actually see him. And he'll be just sitting there until I can bring him a dudette to go with the dude, right? Oh, well, we're going to take him back to base. We'll pick up on the flip side. Okay, almost back to base. It's kind of a frenetic pace on that just because dodos are a sitting duck target while they're out once you've tamed them, and they don't have any purpose. They can't really follow you around because they're really slow. They just kind of waddle slowly behind you, right? Making a bunch of clucky noises. So as soon as you tame them, bring them straight on back to base. You want to get them behind walls so nothing can actually get a line of sight on them. So pop them inside on the floor, position him how you want. Like, I want him, yeah, there. And I'm going to whistle you. He'll stop following, and then I'm going to manually put him on passive. And he will spend the rest of his life right there or until I physically move him. That said, we're done with that phase. On to the next. We're going to look for something else to tame. Okay, so check this guy out with his little green holiday socks on, right? Normally, aside from the little XP buff they can provide, there's not much. Excuse you. Okay. Anyway, aside from their XP buff, there's not much point in taming these guys anymore. But he's just so cool looking. And one more feed, and he should be ours. But yeah, I just thought he was so cool looking. I had to get him. There he is. Sucksy! Yeah. So as you can see by my hotbar, it's been actually a few in-game days. Leveled up. I've got the bow now and bolas. Doing green drops and making wooden foundations, which we'll get back to the base at some point. I've just been replacing foundations with wooden ones and expanding out the foundation footprint. We'll see that in a bit, but like I said, for now, I think the rest of this episode, we're just going to basically hop from tame to tame to tame, and then end up where we end up. I always said they absolutely nailed sunsets in Ark, but regardless, I got to get this guy back to base. Probably gonna pick up that white drop that's over behind us, and that'll be it. But on to the next whatever we find. And what we find in the middle of a monsoon is a couple of iguanodons. I apologize, guys. I messed up the recording and I didn't get the taming portion or the knockout portion of this tame. They're an easy tame. As you can see, I've continued to level, but an iguanodon, you bolo it, you hit it in the face with narc arrows or trank arrows, and I've been getting trank arrows from the green drops that I've been looting. I haven't actually physically made any of them yet. We're going to come over here. That was level 5 female. This, I think, is a level 40 male. Iguanodons aren't exceptionally useful anymore. They since they changed the kibble system, and you're going to hear me say that a lot. The kibble system, blessing and curse, but there's still a decent early game mount, and one buy. We're going to take all the eggs we can get, right? Okay, so I know it's considered bad editing practice to do too many quick cuts, but we're about 75% done with the male iguanodon. The female's up, and look what just landed next to us. That's right, 140 P. Terry in our backyard. That pretty much establishes then what we're going to spend the rest of the episode doing. So we need to go ahead and knock out the rest of the tame on this iguanodon, and we will then set ourselves in motion to doing what we need to do to raw meat tame that bird. I'll explain a little more when we're done with this. We'll see you back in a few. And he's up. All right. Iggy. Okay, so I wish I could put a saddle on him and show you right this moment his mobility, but sadly he's a 30 saddle and I'm only level 21. What we do have to do, however, takes precedence. So what we need to do is organize a bit. I need to get these guys back to the base. This will be an opportunity to finally show you what I have done to the base. And then we'll probably wrap the episode because what we have coming next is a full episode unto itself in terms of everything we have to do to get to the point of taming that pterodon. Every minute from this point on, and I think get some water, and yeah, there she is right there. Every minute is a minute she is slowly meandering somewhere other than here. And if she meanders across the bay over there, she's in hostile territory. If she meanders up on the ridge up here, she's in hostile territory. I want to get everything done as fast as possible. So anyway, we're back to the base, and as you can see, I have installed quite a few wooden foundations. That's where most of my leveling has come from. I'm going to put one of these Morse and pedestals down that I've gotten from a green drop, and we are going to go about making a few narcotics and just generally getting ready for the things to come. I got to make a trike saddle because the next step in being able to actually tame that pterodon is the trike. So anyway, we're going to wrap it right here, and I'll pick right back up in the next episode, guys.